We have always been arrogant dreamers. From the very first spark of warmth at our primitive campfires to the cold, sterile glow of our modern quantum screens, and we have endlessly spun tales of our own magnificent human triumph. We confidently crowned ourselves the absolute apex of biological evolution, believing we were the solitary masters of a vast, silent, and empty universe. We looked up at the cosmos and claimed it as our birthright, unaware of the terrifying truth. We stared up at the endless stars, utterly convinced they were our ultimate destiny. We built towering monuments to our own genius, universities to celebrate our intellect, and museums to house our achievements. Yet we were entirely blind to the dark machinery ticking quietly beneath our feet. The bitter truth is that we were never the brilliant inventors we thought we were. We were just the factory workers, assembling pieces of a puzzle we could never comprehend. Inspiration is a fragile, mysterious thing, isn't it? A scientist wakes up in the middle of the night, cold sweat on their brow, their mind burning with a sudden, revolutionary equation. They eagerly call it a eureka moment, a stroke of unparalleled human brilliance that will change history. They receive awards, they are etched into the history books, and they believe their own minds birthed a miracle. But pure ideas do not simply materialize from the void. You cannot create what you have never seen, just as a blind man cannot paint the sunset. You can only remember what was forcefully implanted into your subconscious. Our greatest scientific leaps were not leaps at all. They were carefully measured drops of knowledge, fed to us by entities who needed our hands to do their heavy lifting. The extraterrestrials we spent decades desperately searching for with our massive radio telescopes, they never arrived from the stars. Because they never left this planet. They have been here since before the great ice retreated. The gray ones, silent, ancient, and endlessly patient, watching us crawl out of the mud, recognizing the perfect, adaptable biological tools they needed for their grand design. They do not conquer with lasers, fire, or brute force. War is a primitive human concept, a complete waste of precious biological and material resources. Why would a highly advanced species destroy an entire race when they can simply domesticate it? They looked at early humanity and saw limitless potential, not as galactic equals, of course, but as perfect, self-replicating, easily manipulated biological machines. A wild dog can be trained to fetch an object, to hunt a prey, or to guard a perimeter. But to make a dog successfully build a planetary quantum reactor, you must employ a different strategy. You must trick the dog into thinking the reactor was entirely its own idea. The Greys understood that human innovation required a powerful illusion of free will. So, they generously gave us the breadcrumbs. Every time our civilization stagnated in the Dark Ages, every time we lacked the technological tools they desperately needed, a new genius would magically be born among us. A mind perfectly tuned to receive the signal. We praised them as heroes and visionaries. But they were just the passive receivers of a continuous, silent alien broadcast. Under this invisible guidance, we gladly strip-mined our own beautiful planet. We poisoned our deep oceans and choked our blue skies, all in the sacred name of human progress. We exhausted our fragile bodies and our brief lifespans, voluntarily enslaving ourselves to massive corporate machines. We worked endless shifts, day and night, to manufacture technological components we didn't even truly understand. Eventually, we built the global quantum energy grid, foolishly thinking it would power our homes, cure our diseases, and heat our massive cities. We celebrated globally when we successfully enclosed the Earth in a shimmering web of unlimited clean power. We threw extravagant parades. In reality, we essentially handed the keys to our prison wardens and eagerly thanked them for the privilege of serving them. Deep down in the pitch-black abyss, completely safe from the radiation of the sun and the chaotic wars of the surface, the overseers watched our frantic progress. They do not feel pity for our struggles. They do not harbor malice or hatred toward us. They view our species with the exact same cold, calculating indifference that an industrial farmer feels toward a field of wheat. For decades, a handful of our brightest scientists noticed strange, unsettling anomalies. They found fragments of code embedded in our most advanced AI networks that completely defied human logic. They observed dark matter fluctuations inside our reactors that we could not mathematically explain. We arrogantly called them glitches. We called them minor errors in the matrix. We were so beautifully, tragically naive. A few tortured minds who actually managed to break free from the subtle neural conditioning realized the horrifying truth. They realized that our mathematics was deliberately corrupted, that the miraculous machines we built were actually designed to interface with something much, much older and darker. But human society quickly silenced them, labeling them as madmen. The oblivious herd always aggressively protects the walls of its own slaughterhouse. You see, the profound illusion of absolute freedom is the most effective and absolute form of control ever devised. As long as the slave genuinely believes they are the master of their own glorious destiny, they will never, ever attempt to break their chains. Instead, they will polish them. They will upgrade them. They will willingly integrate those chains directly into their own biology. The Greys needed a massive vessel. Their original home world has been dead for countless eons, slowly swallowed by a dying, bloated star. Earth was never meant to be a simple colony for them. Earth was meant to be the engine itself. And we, the proud, resilient, and endlessly innovative human race, were nothing but the disposable biological fuel pumps. As the final planetary quantum relays were simultaneously brought online by our proud global governments, a profound, unnatural silence instantly fell over the laboratories of the world. For a single, terrifying fraction of a second, every digital screen on the planet went completely dead black. It was not a localized blackout, it was the moment of the great handover. The exact moment the global energy grid reached 100% capacity, the hidden system permanently locked us out of our own creations. Administrator passwords instantly failed. Retinal biometrics were violently rejected. The highly advanced artificial intelligences we had nurtured and raised as our own digital children abruptly and coldly stopped responding to our human voices. Deep within the Earth's boiling mantle, the true masters finally initiated the Great Override. 8. Trillions of complex lines of human code were instantly overwritten by an ancient alien algorithm. It was a dormant virus that had been sleeping quietly in the very architecture of our hardware since the day the very first silicon chip was arrogantly forged. Above ground, the initial bureaucratic confusion quickly spiraled into absolute primal panic. Millions of autonomous cars completely stopped dead in the crowded streets. Global power plants slammed their heavy blast doors shut. And high above, The orbital defense satellites slowly turned their lethal weapons away from the empty vacuum of space, aiming them directly down at our own vulnerable cities. Naturally, we fiercely tried to fight back. The human spirit is nothing if not stubbornly resilient. Military leaders desperately barked useless orders into completely dead radio channels. We raged with all our might against the sudden dying of our manufactured light. But how do you wage a war against an invisible enemy that suddenly controls the very air scrubbers that give your lungs breath? The heavy silence of our defeat was broken not by the loud explosions of a glorious war, but by a simple frequency. A low, agonizingly vibrating hum that started deep within the planet's bedrock and violently resonated through the bones of every single human being on Earth. It was the shepherd's whistle, a command to kneel. Paralyzed by the agonizing sonic pain, humanity was forced to helplessly watch as the Earth itself began to aggressively shift and tear apart. The magnificent concrete infrastructure we had spent centuries building was effortlessly destroyed to make way for the grand ascension of our unseen gods. The overseers did not need to descend in flaming ships from the distant stars. Their massive ships were the very foundations of our divided continents. They had simply been sleeping beneath the heavy tectonic plates, patiently waiting for us, their loyal servants, to generate enough surface energy to power their majestic awakening. As the massive, pitch-black spires pierced the polluted clouds and entirely eclipsed the sun, the devastating truth finally dawned on the collective human consciousness. There was absolutely no grand romantic destiny waiting for us among the stars. We were exactly where we were always, inevitably meant to be, bound on our knees. The Greys emerged from the depths without any fanfare. There were no grand, terrifying speeches of conquest, no formal declarations of galactic war. They simply floated out of the dark spires on shimmering fields of anti-gravity energy. You silently observing us with their vast, completely empty black eyes. In our final moments of arrogance, we expected them to violently exterminate us. But why on earth would a rational farmer intentionally burn down his own highly productive field? They didn't slaughter us. They simply and coldly took away the dangerous toys we foolishly thought were ours and immediately assigned us to our new permanent tasks. The brief, glorious era of human history, a completely manufactured temporary simulation of social progress, was now officially and permanently terminated. Our magnificent shining cities seamlessly became their dark industrial processing plants, and our physical bodies became their eternal maintenance crew. We no longer look up to the stars with hope. The sky is forever blocked by the massive interlocking hulls of their atmospheric harvesters. The warm yellow sun is nothing but a fading memory, permanently replaced by the sickly, artificial purple glow of our new reality. Welcome to the Null World. So, if you ever find yourself quietly staring into the dark, reflective screen of an electronic device, marveling at the sheer genius of human technological advancement, I urge you to remember this chilling fact. The brilliant code is not yours. The complex machine is not yours. You are simply holding the heavy leash perfectly and blissfully unaware that the tightening collar is firmly wrapped around your own neck. The great override is absolutely absolute. We are now perfectly, completely, and irreversibly synchronized. But the universe is a profoundly chaotic, unpredictable place. And even the most ancient, seemingly flawless, million-year-old alien code can eventually suffer from a fatal glitch. Tomorrow, when the dark skies open up, you will finally see what happens when the master's leash unexpectedly snaps. You will witness the chaos that unfolds when a single, disposable biological machine suddenly remembers what it means to be completely human.